Hello, my name is Corey Finnegan. I just completed my Master's of Social Work at West Virginia University and I'm going to share a little bit about how I got into the social work field. It was pretty untraditional. So I got my bachelor's in human nutrition and food from West Virginia University and got to about the second to final semester of my degree. And really, it was just kind of like, I really am fascinated by the biochemistry of our bodies and the way that we process um, food and digestion and things like that. It's very interesting the way that our bodies can, sustain themselves, but um, not so much interested in uh, dietetics and being a dietitian. So it's more like personal fascination, but couldn't really see myself in that particular career. Um, and so my senior capstone, I did research on the gut brain axis and how certain bacteria cultures in our gut can impact the like emotions and kind of way that we process things in our brain, depending on what bacteria we have in our gut. And so through that, kind of got interested in eating disorders. And part of my capstone project was, what bacterial strains are most prevalent in folks who struggle with anorexia. Um, and so through that, I kind of did some very not just preemptive kind of research on how that may affect somebody in recovering from anorexia, just having those bacterial strains that are more linked with depression and anxiety and things like that, because they were more prevalent in folks guts who struggle with anorexia. And so kind of wondering like, how do those things affect recovery from an eating disorder? But when I did um, this kind of research, the data was very young. So it was, I think the earliest data, I did this in 2018, the earliest data was like 2012. So it's really kind of a new topic. And so out of doing that, I started shadowing a social worker who works specifically with eating disorders, and I loved it. Kind of up until that point, I was like, I don't really see how I could use nutrition. And then once I shadowed her, I was like, wow, like this would be really cool to do kind of like behavioral and mental health counseling with folks. And so from that, I decided to apply for the master's program of social work at WVU. Really because, so this is just kind of a part of my life. So my husband is from Northern Ireland, and the social work program at WVU is accredited internationally, and so it was a field that I could do internationally, and could still qualify for jobs in the UK, and so I completed my application. The great thing about this program too is that you don't have to have an undergraduate degree in social work to apply to the program and to be accepted into the program. So everyone else in my class was like psychology and other kind of like psychiatric and mental health studies, and then I was nutrition, so it was kind of an oddball, but yeah. So came into the program, really loved the social work program at WVU, and then this past year worked with folks with addiction at Chestnut Ridge Center right behind Ruby Memorial Hospital, and really, really loved that placement with folks who struggle with addiction. You kind of get to work with a lot of different things. So you have trauma, mental health issues, eating disorders, things like that. So it's really like all of these different kind of pots going in with kind of under the umbrella of addiction. And also you get to witness incredible resilience of people, and you get to see people get well really quickly and to see people's lives changed and transformed in recovery. It's so cool. Yeah, to just see the resilience of people and to see the recovery of people. So that is a little bit about my journey into social work and why I decided to do social work.